I'm going to tell you a quick story. Can you hear me? Am I amplified? Thank you to everybody who made this possible. And I notice on our candles that it is true that Cindy's father died this week. So we also remember Cindy and her grief and her loss. So Crystal set me up perfectly, and I want to tell a story about the bridge. And before I do that, make a note to read The Journey by Mary Oliver. The Journey by Mary Oliver. It says, oh, and then I realized what I had to do, and I set off, even though all these voices said, come back, come back. I started, and I went on my way. And the universe, Thoreau reminds us, conspires. Once we've decided, the universe conspires to help us out. But it's not easy. Ed Friedman was a rabbi, and he was a rabbi, and he was really into family systems theory. And he wanted to take family systems theory, which was like a therapy thing, and apply it to the synagogue and to faith communities. And he was like, how am I going to do this? You know, because it could get a little jargony and a little, oh, I wore jeans today because I'm a mutt. I have no idea what I am, but my people wore jeans. That's all I know. And I don't even have a good song to go with it. It's just mutt. It's just a mutt. All right. There was a man who had given much thought to his life and what he wanted from his life. He had many moods and many trials. He had experimented with different ways of living, and he knew success and he knew failure. At last, he got a vision of what he wanted to do and who he wanted to be, and he walked toward it. He searched for the right opportunity. Often he applied his strength and imagination only to find the path hopelessly blocked, and then at last it came. But the window was open only for a bit, so he had to move. And he knew it wouldn't come again. Eager to arrive, he started on his journey. With each step, he wanted to move faster. With each thought about his goal, his heart beat quicker. With each vision of what lay ahead, he found renewed vigor. Strength that had left him since his early youth suddenly came back. So he's got this vision. He's got this path. The way is open. All kinds of desires reawakened in his soul, and he began to walk, and then he comes to a big bridge, big old bridge, over a river. And you know, in the spring, the river would flood, and so the bridge was really high. Hurried along, he crossed the bridge, and then all of a sudden, he sees a person coming across the bridge. And that person appears to want to greet him. But this man doesn't know who this stranger is, but he wants to greet him. He did not know this other, but they were dressed similarly. But the man, the stranger, the guy that he didn't know, had something around his waist. When they were within hailing distance, he could see what the other had around his waist, and it was a rope. It was wrapped around him many times, and maybe would reach 30 feet, let's say. The other began to uncurl the rope, and just as they were coming close, the stranger took the rope and said, "Hold on to this, please. Take this for me, please. Would you be so kind as to hold this for a moment?" And without a thought, the man took it, right? We'd all take it, right? I mean, most of us would take it. Would you be so kind as to hold the end a moment? "Thank you," the other said. "Two hands now, and remember, hold tight. Whereupon, the other man, the stranger, did what?
Jumped off the bridge.
Jumped.
You know the story.
No.
Oh, he did jump off the bridge. Eric Moon, ladies and gentlemen. He jumped off the bridge. 2 hands now, remember, and hold tight. Quickly, the free-falling body hurtled the distance of the rope's length, and from the bridge, the man abruptly felt the pull. He held tight. He was almost dragged over, but he braced himself against the edge. "What are you trying to do?" he said, which is a fair question. "Just hold tight," the other said. This is a fable. You see where we're going? This is a fable. Ed Friedman was like, the only way I'm going to get this across is through fable. "Just hold tight," the other said. "This is ridiculous," the man said. He couldn't get leverage enough to bring him up. So they were just stuck there. The man against the bridge, holding desperately, and the other just dangling below. And he says helpfully, "Well, listen, if you put it around your waist, it might be better for you." So the guy was like, "Okay, I'll put it around my waist." "Why did you do this?" the man said. "Remember, if you let go, I am lost." That's all he said. Not helpful. "Well, I did not ask for this." "I am your responsibility," the man dangling from the bridge said. "I didn't ask for this. Why am I here? I got my vision for my life, and all of a sudden I'm on this bridge holding." He looked around for help. There was no one. Just as he was on the verge of true success, he examined the side, searching for a place to tie the rope, some protrusion perhaps, or a hole in the boards. But it was uniform in shape. There were no spaces between the boards. There was no way to get rid of this newfound burden, even temporarily. "What do you want?" "Just your help." "How can I help? I can't pull you in, and there's no place to tie the rope." "I know that. Just hang on. That will be enough." Isn't that lovely? That's lovely, right?
Take a nap.
Yeah, take a nap. "Why did you do this? Don't you see what you've done? What possible purpose could you have had in mind? Just remember." The other one said, "My life is in your hands." What should he do? "If I let go all my life, I will know I let this other die. If I stay, I risk losing my momentum toward my sought-after salvation. Either way, this will haunt me forever." With ironic humor, he thought to die himself instantly, to jump off the bridge while still holding on. That would teach the fool. But he wanted to live, and to live fully. Isn't that beautiful? Rabbi Friedman. I mean, he was so smart. He wanted to live and live fully. What a choice I have to make. How shall I ever decide? As time went by, still no one came. The critical moment of decision was drawing near. To show his commitment to his own goals, he would have to continue on his journey now. It was already almost too late to arrive in time. But what a terrible choice to have to make. A new thought occurred to him. While he could not pull this other up solely by his own efforts, if the other would shorten the rope from his end by curling it around his waist again and again, together they could do it. Actually, the other could do it by himself, so long as he, standing on the bridge, kept it still and steady. "Now listen," he shouted down. "I think I know how to save you." All right, so it's a fable. So you know what's coming? Like, just because this guy knows how to save the other, is the other going to be interested? No. Right. He explained his plan. The other was not interested. "You mean you won't help? But I told you I cannot pull you up by myself, and I don't think I can hang on much longer either." "You must try," the other shouted back. "If you fall, I die." The point of decision arrived. What should he do? My life or the other's? And then a new idea, a revelation, so new in fact it seemed heretical, so alien was it to his traditional way of thinking. I want you to listen carefully, he said. I want you to listen carefully. Because I mean what I am about to say. I will not accept the position of the choice for your life. Right? That's healthy boundaries, right? Only for my own. The position of choice for your own life, I hereby give back to you. What do you mean, the other said, afraid? I'm sure he was afraid, right? Like, I'm your responsibility. I mean, simply, it's up to you. You decide which way this ends. I will become the counterweight. You do the pulling and bring yourself up. I'll even tug a little from here. He began unwinding the rope from around his waist and braced himself anew against the side. You can't mean what you said, the other shrieked. You would not be so selfish. I am your responsibility. What could be so important that you would let someone die? Do not do this to me. He waited a moment. There was no change in the tension of the rope. I accept your choice, he said at last, and freed his hands. When we talk about generational shielding, generational trauma, everything is going to pull you towards saying, stand at the side of this bridge. Continue to do this same pattern over and over again. But you can say to that generational trauma what that guy said with his shield. No more. I accept what's happened, but I move on in the direction of my goals and my dreams. The end.